Hey guys, this is a YouTube review, and now I'm going to review Logan. I'm going to do two separate videos, a spoiler and non-spoiler review. The reason I didn't do a non-spoiler review for The Great Wall was because it had been out for a while, and that video assumed most of you had seen it. So, um, so this video will be the non-spoiler review. I actually just saw Logan a few minutes ago. It's now 10 p.m. where I am, and I got out at 9:48. I took a little stop to Chick-fil-A, and now I'm recording my initial reaction and my overall thoughts. So what do I have to say about it? Oh yeah, I know. Holy shit. I have literally not come out of a movie like this in a very long time. It is literally probably one of the best movies I think I have ever seen in a long time. I go to movies that I know will probably be good, and I go to movies that I know are going to appeal to me. But the reaction the entire theater had to this movie was amazing. At the end of the screening of the film, you literally just saw applause for you literally just heard applause for a good 5 minutes of this movie. That is how insanely good it is. Um, so let's break it down. Hugh Jackman. Me personally, I liked Wolverine at the beginning in the first X-Men movie, and over time, I sort of began to dislike Hugh Jackman's and Fox's interpretation of the character, because it sort of became problematic and actually kind of pissing me off to an extent. The highlight up till Logan was Days of Future Past. I liked that version of Logan. But also Days of Future Past kind of messed with people, because that was sort of where the timeline for me initially got messed up. And when Logan appeared as as Weapon X in X-Men Apocalypse, that is where I got so pissed off with the character, I honestly thought I would never like it again. I have been proven wrong. Logan the movie and Logan the character, oh my god, it was so amazing just to watch this movie. I literally had a big smile on my face the entire theater, or the entire screening, and it was so amazing. Hugh Jackman, he has literally said multiple times that he will not do any more Wolverine movies or any more Logan movies or cameos or anything like that after this movie. And this point actually makes me very sad, but this movie was the perfect way to go at it. It was literally a bang smash hit. It is literally going to break all the box office predictions and be probably one of the greatest superhero movies you've ever seen. And it's not a superhero movie to most of the extent. It is more a human story. And that is one of the main things I initially loved about it. It sticks to the comic book source somewhat, but it also strays away from it, which is something I believe that you have to do. You cannot stick directly to the source material, but you also have to keep it in perspective and make sure that you are not disrespecting it. You have to have respect for the source material, and you have to know when you are doing it justice and when you are not. I believe Logan really knew the source material, really liked the source material, and respected the source material. I honestly have to say, this is probably the best movie that has come out of the X-Men franchise ever. Now, getting on to initial performances. Hugh Jackman, as I have said, this is his greatest interpretation of Logan, the character, ever. And as Wolverine, I literally saw the emotion on his face. I literally loved every second he was on screen. And his chemistry with Daphne Keane, Laura, her name is, besides X-23, which they never actually mentioned her name is X-23 at all. Or they never referenced her specifically as being X-23. They referenced, I'll get into that later in the spoiler review, but Laura, not exactly a big spoiler, so I think it's okay to mention her. Daphne Keane and Hugh Jackman's chemistry on screen, I liked it a lot, but I don't think it was perfect. Patrick Stewart as Professor Xavier, he was, in a lot of ways, this was the best acting I've seen from him in a while. Like, I liked him in the X-Men movies, and I liked him in the franchise so far. But I believe that his performances were slowly losing their luster. This literally brought my expectations so back up. I literally did not like the X-Men franchise because of how much they were messing with the universe and how much they were redoing the characters. Like, they redid Jean Grey and Scott Summers, and it was really hard or really odd to like stick with all the people and really. It was kind of a big headache after a while after seeing this, or after seeing the X-Men universe go all nuts and the timelines get all mixed up. So I initially had a lot of problems with X-Men movies for a while, but then Deadpool came in, and that was a really awesome rated R movie, and now Logan. Rated R is what this movie needed to be. I'm serious. There was a lot of gore. There was a lot of blood. There was a lot of stuff that caused this to be rated R. I don't even know if there was ever a debate that it should be PG-13, because this movie was so violent. And that was one of the things I loved about it so much, is because something really awesome about rated R superhero movies is that they can show you characters as somewhat you would like them to be. Logan, the character, I believe that he should always be on a rated R setting. His PG-13 version, in my opinion, sucks. So his rated R version, so much better. So in the movie, Daphne Keane, who plays Laura X-23, I'm not going to give anything away about her character, but for the most of the movie, she actually stays silent. For most of the movie, you basically just read her expressions on her face, and you can really tell like what she was feeling, what she was doing, why she was doing it, and what was motivating her, or what was motivating the character. And she did an amazing job as portraying this character. I'm not kidding. She was probably my favorite character out of the entire movie. And it was a really close call with Logan being my favorite character, but Laura was probably the best character in this entire movie. It is literally a Wolverine story with Laura, and Laura was the spotlight character. I know the spotlight was meant to go on Logan or Wolverine, but it was Laura. Laura was the standout character. She was probably the most interesting character I've seen in a movie in a long time. And her development throughout the movie was so incredible, so amazing, that I actually really fell in love with her so much that by the end of the movie, I was wondering if the studio was actually considering making her a standalone movie and also implementing her character into the X-Men universe. And I really want that, because her portrayal of this character and her character were so incredible in this movie that I honestly want to see her more. I want to see more of this. Patrick Stewart, Professor Xavier, you see him struggle a lot in this movie. And I'm not going to tell you how or why or anything like that, because that's for the spoiler review, but you can really see why or what was happening, what was going on with him, and you can really see the emotion and the events prior to this movie and how they had an effect on him so much. And I love Patrick Stewart's performance in this movie. It was so heartwarming, so breathtaking that for a lot of the movie I was actually going like, okay, breathe, breathe, breathe. There you go. Because this movie was amazing. It was, oh my god, I love this movie so much. Um, my favorite is, or my most favorite superhero movie is The Dark Knight. I believe I mentioned this in the Great Wall video, but The Dark Knight is probably the best superhero movie I think I've ever seen. A lot of people will go against that statement, not like that statement, but I personally thought The Dark Knight was the best superhero movie ever. Logan, I would not categorize as a superhero movie. I would categorize it as a drama kind of movie with, it was basically like a superhero movie, but it had a lot more humanity into it. It's kind of like what the Russo brothers do. They do human stories with superhero feels as opposed to superhero movies with human feels. Logan goes against hero sort of movies and goes a lot for the human and the humanity aspect of that ratio. Like one superhero, one part superhero, like 5 parts human or human quality. And that's what I loved so much about this movie, because I did not want to see another superhero movie where Logan gets a little messed up and then goes all nuts and then joins a team or goes on a solo adventure and saves everybody or saves the world, something like that. I did not want to see that again. I saw that enough. So this movie definitely met my expectations. I did go into this being very critical, and I found very few flaws in it or very few things that kind of annoyed me. So yeah. There are there are a few main villains in here. One I cannot say at all because this is the non-spoiler review. The other one is a doctor. The people who have seen this movie know the character of whom I'm talking about. He is in the movie so little, but he was still a sort of problem for me. I did not like him very much as a character, but yeah, the blonde guy, the blonde guy with the robotic arm, or robotic right arm. I think I can remember. I think it was right arm. His character was interesting. It was more of a side character. Like, he wasn't essential to the plot, or he kind of was, but he wasn't all that important in the overall story as much. He sort of like sets up the story, or sets up why some events are happening, or why things are doing this. Sorry, I had to fix my hair. But overall, I liked his character. Trying to remember the actor who played him. I think it might be Donald Pierce, but don't quote me on that because I might be wrong. In fact, I probably am wrong. But his character was interesting, to say the least, but I did not exactly like that character. I thought his performance was great. I thought how he portrayed the character was very interesting, and I thought he gave a very good performance in the overall movie, and I thought that he was very useful in helping the story along or helping transition to new things. So yeah. Most of my problems with the movie are spoilers to a certain extent. So I will save those for the spoiler review. But there was one thing that I can say. The movie is about 2 hours and 20 minutes long. And it did run slow a couple of times. Like, there were scenes that like were really slow, and it was a little hard to like want to keep watching for a select second or two. And then it got real quick and real fast paced, and it really picked you up. So it is a very small peeve that the movie was slow in certain parts of the movie, but then it picked up with action or like quippy jokes, stuff like that. And oh, by the way, the very beginning of the movie, before the movie even starts, actually, there is a certain scene that it was so funny, so unexpected that the entire theater was just laughing as soon as it started. And the ending was actually kind of weird. Or not the ending of the movie, it was like the after credits. I will not tell anything more than that, but it was a little odd, sort of. So, um, so overall, I would say all the actors did an amazing job. This movie is definitely going to be a great success. Hugh Jackman, he did an awesome performance for his final run of this character, and I believe that this is probably his best performance as Logan Wolverine. Daphne Keane was definitely the standout character for me because she was so into this character. She was so amazing as this character that I definitely want to see more of her as this character. And I hope that they integrate her into the X-Men universe more. And I actually want a standalone movie of her, at least one. I want one, at least. Come on, Fox, you got to do this. Because it was, holy crap, I loved her. And Patrick Stewart, this was a very good run as Charles Xavier. Definitely better than what I've seen before. So, in the end, this movie definitely exceeded my expectations. I give it an A minus out of A on a F to A plus ratio. I give it a 94% as a rating. And I would definitely recommend this movie. I definitely recommend going to see it because it is an amazing movie. You will always like, as soon as you finish this movie, the first thought in your head is like, when can I go see it again? That is my initial thought. I'm actually probably going to go see it tomorrow. As I'm in college, I have homework to do, stuff like that. So I couldn't go see it tonight, or I went to the 7 o'clock showing, the midnight showing, and then I wanted to go to the 10 o'clock showing immediately right after this movie ended, but I thought, well, I have other stuff to do, so yeah. So overall, great movie. Go see it. This video will be posted around 10:20, I believe. The spoiler review will be up, I don't know, around 10:40, 10:50, I think, because that video is going to run longer than this one. Go see the movie, then come back and watch the spoiler review, because I will be telling a lot. If you're like me and want to listen to the spoilers before going to see the movie and before deciding to go see the movie, you can do that, but I believe it will spoil you overall, because I like to be spoiled. I like knowing certain things about the movies before I go into it, because it helps me determine if I want to pay money to go see these movies. And usually I can tell whether it interests me by the plot or some plot points. This movie, I knew next to nothing about other than the source material, the premise of it, and what was probably going to happen in it. Like, if you saw the Great Wall review movie, then you also heard of my Logan movie predictions. Those predictions were made about 2 hours before I went to go just see the movie. So those predictions are what I had for this movie. Some of them were right, some of them were wrong. So yeah, I basically went into this movie with a general idea of what was going to happen and what was going on. And I love this movie so much because I did not know anything more than what I thought. And everybody in the theater was thinking the exact same thing as I was, and thinking about probably what was going to happen next after this movie ended. So that's it for the non-spoiler review. I'll have the spoiler review up in a half hour or so. So thank you very much, YouTube. This is YouTube Review, signing off.